So today we're going to talk about literals. Literals, basically, with the intro, uh, the word literal, they basically mean constant value. So we would have seen that in some of our practice tests, we've been passing constant values or values into our queries. We embed them into SQL statements, and they're very, very useful for data analysis, for filtering, or even creating simple outputs. All right. So let's jump into it real quick. So today we're going to cover the introduction. We're going to cover some string literals, numeric literals, Boolean literals. And we're going to take some example hello world, and then we're going to say goodbye. So like I mentioned earlier, literals are constant values directly embedded in SQL statements, essential for data analysis, filtering, or even creating simple outputs. We're going to cover three types of literals today: the string literals, numeric literals, Boolean literals. So today's goal, basically, we're going to understand how to use literals in SQL and apply this knowledge in our practical exercises. So we'll be taking this, and I also want you to get the whole concept in a very, very simple way. One way or the other, we have done this in the past during practice, and you wouldn't know that what we're actually doing when we're playing with literals. All right. So, understanding string literals, you will notice that a sequence of characters, enclosed in single quotes or double quotes. Example is dramatics. It could be hello world. It could be a word. Okay. So let me pull up VS Code real quick and show you this. So there are, for a typical string literals, right? We basically enclose them in strings like this, or or double quotes. If you remember when you have something like searching for a country, USA, you have it up enclosed in this quotes. That is a string. Or when you were searching for an email, when you're searching for an email, you placed it like this. These are string literals. You either have them as a single quote or a double quote. And in some situation, there are some special cases. There are some special cases, like when you have something like this. Okay. Let's say we have a name, Sophie's. Sophie's as a word, choice. And we need to wrap this one up. Okay. You see that this is a word, Sophie's choice, right? But we need to wrap this literal up while trying to pass it into a query. So two options. We use the double quotes. Once you use the double quotes, It has a single quote inside, which is part of the word Sophie's. But we need to pass it into our query. We need to make sure that we wrap it up. See, with the second one, we are able to wrap it up. So every other thing can be, written in front or backward. Now let's take a look at the errors that we can have. If we wrap this up, you see, if it's wrongly wrapped up, you can see this one, this element that is not part of this word is being highlighted as well. All right. See, if we utilize one quote here, you see that it's not wrapping it completely. Guys, you see what's happening? And this word here, let me make it a real word. It's not part of this word. So to be able to wrap this completely, we'll need to use double quote because it already has single quote as part of the word. So now you see we have wrapped it up completely, right? You see that? All right. So I like to make this class interactive. I put this, I'll write this word. I want you guys to wrap it up on your VS Code. Wrap it up and tell me if you're able to wrap it up. I put a text in the chat. Jesse's birthday. Can you guys wrap it up? When you wrap it up, put it back in the chat. All right. Go ahead, wrap it up. Let me see. Okay, put it in the chat. You should see the wrap. What's the wrap? Uh no, you have Jesse's birthday with there is a double quote before S on Jesse's. Okay? Jesse's birthday. There is a double quote, guys. There is a double quote before S. There is a double quote. Okay. All right. I'm saying answers. All right. Did it okay. All right. Okay. Now let's take a look at this. That's yours. And this is mine. Okay. So what happened? I see a lot of the response were using double quotes. All right. All right. Good stuff. Why were you guys scared of using single quotes? All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's good. Yes. Okay. So let's take one more example. Let's take one more example. I'll put it in the chat. Let me put it in the chat. Let's put this in the chat. Okay. How do we wrap that up?
Coach, is there an O before the Riley or something?
That's the word.
O'Reilly. Okay.
O'Reilly Media. Who's able to wrap that up?
Anytime from 7.
Who's able to test that? Put a word in between. Okay, I'm getting answers. Ah, uh, uh, Nafisat, you're missing the there is a double quote in the beginning of that. You're missing the double quote in the beginning. Remember, we need to put a word here. Remember, we need to put a word here just to test what's going on. So if we pass this, so remember, say this is the word. It has the quote. It has a double quote, just single one, and it has another one. Okay, so let's see what's going on. We have that all. Yes, that's a test. You just put a word here. Put a word, and once that word turns white or blue, you know what's going on. All right. Let's test the other single. Let's see how we close it off. Let's test the other one. Put a word. We'll put all. Now you see, once we take this one out, something happens. We'll put this one in. Let's see what happens. You see, that's the wrong word. That's the wrong choice, right? It's a wrong choice. All right. So you need to test. There's a bulb out there. There's a bulb. The bulb is like that all sound. It goes on and off. You put this, I take this out, you put this, and you see the all sound here. All right. That's a good choice. Good choice.
Hello, coach.
Yes.
Does that mean if we don't put or it won't work?
No, no. Okay. This all here is just to show you. See, putting a word here will tell you if you actually getting it correctly. Okay. So that word is just to it's a signal. Okay. It's a signal. So watch this. If you do not wrap it correctly, okay, then you see what happened. It's affecting this. All right. So let's take a query, okay? A very simple query. I'm gonna take my default table. All right. That's where that is basically you see where the literal is being used. Look at where the literal is being used. See, you can't just say country equal to USA and you leave it like this. So if like this, remember, if I have a group like this, what kind of comments do I do to it? What kind of
Or
comment?
slash asterisk.
What kind of comments? Is it a single or the group?
Group. Group.
Group.
The group, right? Okay. You see this, right? It's similar to how you want to pass a code. If I do not close it, it will affect this, right? You see that, right? If I do not close it, it will affect that. You can see. You see, it's on. It's back to where it ought to be, right? That was what this all was doing for me. All right. So you can see this. If I run this, it's an error. It's a literal error. Okay. Let's look out for the error that comes off when I run it like this. All right. So let's make sure that we're good. All right. So if I do this run, let's see what happens. You see, unknown column USA in where? Because now we are confusing it. This is meant to be a value or a literal in our table, right? That's what we're trying to look for. So now see this. If we pass just this single quote, right? Pass this single quote. Let's try to see the error that comes off. But we know that it's wrong with a single, right? It's wrong with a single. Now let's see. We already know, right? So we are tracking. Let's track this again. Let's track. let's see, you have an error, check the manual that correspond for the right side to use near USA. You see that? So we need to close USA up. You see? Near USA, near USA. All right?
Everybody,
All right.
don't come on. Are they class?
Near USA. All right? So now let's see. Where country called USA. Now I have the literal there. See, the quotes open and closed. Right? So see this. See, for example, see what happened to this guy here. See this semicolon? When this was wrong, notice what happened. You can see it is off. You know, take note of that. You see, it's off. I put it back correctly. You can see that it's now on. You know, it's going to do the work that it's meant to do. All right. So now take note. When I run this, my query works. See that? This is literal. I basically passed into this query in like where country equal to USA from this table. So everybody here, they're in USA. Country USA, 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 USA. Okay? Literal. If you do not close it, you're going to have an error. This is a string literal. All right? Let's take the other one. Sounds clear? Good. All right. Let's take numbers. So numeric basically is as good as saying numbers. Okay? So these constants, they represent numbers. They could be integers, they could be decimals, they could be exponential values. All right? They could be exponential values. Let's jump into our VS Code as well. Let's do something. All right. So for we've talked about string literals, right? So now let's talk about numeric literals. Numeric, numeric, number. Okay. Numeric literals. So we will say constants that represent numbers. Okay, numbers. So constant that represent numbers, we'll be talking about integers. We'll say integer like numbers 100, maybe a minus 56, 7, numbers, you know, numbers 100, 56. So now when we talk about decimal, we'll talk about the most popular that you know, the pi 3.142 decimal. Negative decimal as well applies. Decimal. All right. Good stuff. This is basics, right? So now we'll talk about exponential. You see, numeric, exponential, and you basically know how to
Please,
pass them in your query.
yeah,
All right.
the font is small. Can you control plus
All
just
right. All right. So the decimal. So we'll also talk about exponential. Exponential. So for exponential, we're talking about something like 2.5 e raised power 3. Can somebody tell me what that is? This is same thing as saying 2.5 times 1,000 equal to 2,500. Okay. Another way that you know it as, when we say 2.5 raised to power 3, exponential 3 is like saying 2. Let me put it another way. Or no, the expression is this anyway. This is the expression. I'm just giving you a breakdown, and we're going to play with it. Okay. So now see. So it's as good as you saying 2.5 times 10 raised to the power 3. All right. Then when we say 2.5, 2.5, 2.5 raised to times 10 raised to power 3. 10 raised to power 3 is 10 times 10 times. Okay, I'm breaking it down. No rocket science. Okay, don't try to cram anything. I'm breaking it down so you can understand what's going on. Okay, this is 10 times 10, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 1,000. 10 times 10, 100. 10 times, then the other 10, 1,000. This is 10 raised power 3. This is what is 10 raised power 3. All right. So, right. So you have exponential. Those are basic numeric literals. All right. And you can basically cast all these integers. You can cast integers and all that into different formats. Say, for example, we can convert.
Because you
Afolashade, mute yourself. Afolashade, mute yourself.
sorry.
So basically, we can convert integers we can convert integers decimal to different, like basically can convert decimal to an integer, like you want to do a round to make this 3. You can also do all that. You can convert 7 into a decimal as well. All right, let's say, for example, okay, let's take this example before we basically pull one of those tables. Say, for example, I want to convert this 7 into a decimal, right? We do this, sometimes we'll convert results into decimal, especially when you're dealing with some special number. We'll do select cast. Then you say 1. No. Let's say 7. Want to convert that 7 to a decimal. Say 7 as decimal. Okay? As decimal. And then in that method, we want to specify how we want how many decimal places and how many scale, the precision and scale, 10 raised to power 10,2. And if we run this, okay, let's say as integer to decimal. Okay, then we close it. Okay, just watch the conversion. So when we say two decimal places, so we expect the answer to be 7.00. Okay, let's lock this. We need to avoid an error coming from here. Let's keep this on the top. And then we run this. So we see the conversion. Oh, the system has refused to convert it. So basically, we expect this result to be 7.00. It's not taking it. So let's see what's happening. As decimal, then 2 here, 7, cast. We do cast. Cast is the keyword. We do cast for that. Let's switch the number to 1. It's the return as 1. The system is the VS Code compiler. It's meant to return the result of 1.00. All right. It's basically want to cast this number as decimal. All right. Now let's take a typical query and see what's happening. So we have this value age from this table. All right. I want to say we're going to grab it from users only. From users only. And we know we have age. So we want to cast age as so the age to decimal. Let's see what happens with that.
Okay.
So we say age as decimal.
Abigail,
And
I'll talk to you.
recall we have
Did you copy out the zipper? Are you on com? Yeah, just
Omosholape means
so when we have situations like this, age as decimal, want to have age as decimal. So let's run this and let's see what's happening. The system has refused to convert the age. You can see we basically just pull the age from this system. All right. So, but if we decide to, let's do something. Let's see some other instance in the type conversion. So basically, doing a cast on this should give it this. So let's see. Let's select country. Let's do average. Where it will force it to write to give us a decimal. Average age from users only. All right. Group by. I'll do something that you guys will know today. I'll do group by 1. All right. And I'll tell you what I want is. So as age average by country. All right. Let's put this down. Let's put this here. Let's make sure I close out this. All right. So system had just refused to do decimal the way we wanted. So you can see we have Argentina 63. Uh, there are different Argentina, then Argentina. So basically, a typical table like this ought to be, we need to update this to match this. All right. So we can see some of those countries that came up, right? 54.277. We can basically, tie this like for where it is. We want maybe like a 2 decimal place. Let's hit cast on that. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Then you see this one here. It's position. Position. No, this is 1 and 2. So instead of writing country, right, you just write 1. This is 1, 2. The way you position them. Country, country 1, 2. Okay. So now see what I'm talking about here before I do the other one. So country. Instead of writing 1, because it's the first one, so I write country, right? You see? So I'm writing 1 because I wrote 1 because this is 1, 2. If I put country here, I will use 2. Okay? So now see, it's the same thing. You see? It's the same thing, right? Country. Instead of typing country, I say, hey, just grow by 1. If I have another thing here, maybe like first name, I say grow by 1, 2. All right? So in some queries, when you see grow by 1, 2, don't be confused. It's the position of your columns, the position you have them in your query. That's what we do. So now we need to do, let's cast this age. Let's cast this. Cast. Very simple. Cast average age as decimal. Let's try to be funny. Decimal. All right. Then we close it. Then we specify the decimals that we need. 10, 2. Right? So we expect 2 decimal places rather than we saw one that had 4333 and all that. Okay, let's try to force it to give us 2 decimal places. All right. So what I did is just putting this average age in here, then using cast to hold it. So let's see what's going on. So you notice this had 4 previously, right? It had 35.333. Now we forced it into giving us 2 decimal places, 54.28, right? 2 decimal places. All right, let's remove this cast, okay, and see what's going on. Let's take this and then take this. All right. We're going to remove this conversion. We're going to remove the conversion. So you can see the difference, okay? Take notes. Let's take note, all right? And we're going to run this. You can see what's going on, right? 35.33333. Here was 42.5. It is okay. Still missed the benchmark. 277777. Okay, so the countries are Belgium. The countries are Belgium. So where country, want to pull it out so we'll see what's going on, right? Country, when you're doing more than one, you use the keyword in. All right. Remember, it's a string literal. Belgium. Belgium. All right. See, there's another one with a decimal that we can catch. Argentina. Okay, Argentina is okay. Let's take Argentina as well. There's another one that had is 27.277. Canada. So take Canada as well. Canada. All right. So good stuff. Ghana. Ghana and Greece. Take Ghana and Greece. Okay. So we're getting rid of the noise. We need those with decimals. Okay. So we can see the query come into effect. Ghana. All right. Take another one. Take Greece. You see how I'm using the literals. Now I'm combining. I'm combining numeric and string. Okay. We're not to be doing this, but I want to show you. So we basically want to see those with the decimals itself. All right. So now let's pause it. See, now we have those. See, I picked out the countries I want. So that was what happened. You see, I picked those countries I want out of the table. I can do where equal to. If you are doing equal to, remember, you're just specifying just one. Just one. All right. You're specifying just one. Make sense? You're specifying just one. All right. So we have this without the cast, the conversion. So we need two decimal places. We need two decimal places. So the fact that we need two decimal places, that is why we are basically writing this. Okay, let me put this forward. Now let me take this. I'm going to delete that. I'm take this one this time. Take this. And we're just going to replace this one. And we're going to take this out. Now I'll leave that one so you can play with it as well. So we're just going to replace this, just this. All right, so we want to compare results. All right, we're going to compare results. Okay, so when we already have this one from the previous, and then we run this. Let's close this in case we hit any roadblock. All right, see what happened. So we basically turn this 4 decimal places into 2 decimal places. And what's actually doing that thing is 10, 2. What 10 means is the total number of strings that we can have in our numeric decimal, our numeric, or the total number of length, but it should be in 2 decimal places. All right? Okay, sounds good. Okay, I'll put this in the chat if you want to play with that as well. You'll play with that as well. So, sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. So let's jump to the presentation. All right. So we basically worked around this literals without reading this. So let's do let me put something in the chat just to let me put it there. Guys, I'm sending a poll. All right. I want you to answer. Very simple. All right. All right. I'm sending it in. All right. Do you have it? Guys, can you see it? Answer that, answer that, answer that. All right. Let me know if y'all done. Everybody, take a chance. Take a chance to that. Are we done? 17 more people to go. Who has not taken the quiz? I end I end quiz in 2 minutes. Take the quiz. 15 more people. It's a numeric literal check, guys.
Coach, I can't see it though.
It popped up on your screen. When you click on poll, you probably see it. All right. We'll end poll in 45 seconds. Eleven more people to go. All right. So the results have been the results has been shared, and 5 people got it wrong, 22 people got it right. So, all right, if you got it wrong, send me a message later. All right. So let's get back to this. So let's talk about Boolean, Boolean literals. All right. So they basically represent true or false, you know, and examples basically. Let's jump to VS Code for Boolean, Boolean literals. Boolean. Select true. Is it true or false? For those select true, 1. You can see 1. True, 1. Right? And if I say select false, select false, who can guess what that will be?
Two.
What's it going to be?
Two.
Who said 2?
Clifford.
Clifford. Nah. So in computer science, it's always 1 and 0. 1 and 0. Okay. False is 0, true is 1. All right. We learn every day. So when something is true, it's set to 1. When something is false, it's set to 0. So, and SQL basically treats true and true, capital true, and true as equal. Okay. Let me show you some. So when you do something like this, SQL does treat them equally. In some situations it doesn't happen. When you select see capital true, all right, it's saying 1, right? And remember how we wrote it the last time. This is also passing it as 1. All right. You see that? I changed the uppercase and lowercase. All right. All right. So let's do something. Let's I have a question. Now, let's answer it correctly. So, how can we use the Boolean literal in a where clause? How can we use that in a where clause? How can we use it? Is there any thoughts around how we can use Boolean literal in our where clause? Can you think around that where we can use where something is true, where something is false, return this, return that? All right, I've answered the question. All right. We can use literal, we can use Boolean literal in our where clause. All right. We're going to activate something on our table and then we can do that. All right. Let's see what's going on. Yes. All right. Good stuff. So we're going to write a small hello world program, which is a single query. Let's try to write select hello world and see what the display is. Just like we're selecting a literal, and we expect it to display. That's always the first program we write in any programming language. We write hello world, and then as greeting. All right. So let's try to do that. We can all do that at the same time. Select. Remember, it's a literal, so we need to put in the hello. Hello world. Then as greeting. Then we'll close it. So what we expect is a display of this, the hello world, right? Does that make sense? We do that and we get hello world. It's a greeting, hello world. Similar to what you've been doing. Like just like we're saying select and a literal. This is a string literal. All right? It's a string literal. So we basically demonstrate how to use the string literal by saying hello world. Select hello world as greeting. All right, it outputs the column called greeting. The greeting is the column that it output because we use the alias here. And it returns the text hello world. It returns the text hello world. Okay, let's get some classwork. Let's get some classwork done. Let me put some very small thing. Let's display, we have our users table, right? We have our users table. So the first task, let's display a welcome message for each user. All right, for each user. For each user. Yeah. So, we have select. Only, right? So we want to have welcome Doe, welcome Voke, welcome Baha, welcome Kovac, welcome Morrison, and all that, right? We want to have that. So we want to write a query that would keep that. All right. So let's do that. So remember, we have a first name. Think about what we can do to that. We use a keyword called concat so that it can help us put those literals together. All right. So we use a keyword called concat. So concat, then we keep our literal. Our literal is welcome, welcome, put a comma space so we can take the first name. So this would concat that first name. We need a first name. We need a comma, and we need something to like something that can make that bam on it, that exclamation mark on it. Then let's call it as welcome message. Sometimes you just need to think about stuff and then process the thoughts around it. All right. All right. So we should get first name, the name of the person. They will say welcome. Welcome. All right. And let us see what's going on. We should have Do. Welcome, Do. Voke. Welcome, Voke. Just like me saying, um, my name is Do. I say, welcome, Do. My name is Voke. Welcome, Voke. So now, for you guys, you're not going to give me the reverse of this one. So just like somebody saying, my name is Do and welcome, Do. So I want you guys to complete this query for me. Okay. Does that make sense, guys? I have done the first part. I want you guys to think about it. Think about it. I've done the first part. So the first part is this is the second part. This person is introducing himself to me, and I'm doing the welcome. Say, hey, my name is Doe. I said, welcome, Doe. So I expect this for this first column. I want you guys to refactor my script or refactor that script to come with my name is Doe. My name is Voke. I said, welcome, Voke. My name is Baha. Welcome, Baha. My name is Kovac. Welcome, Kovac. All right. Does that make sense, everybody? So, just a very soft. Then it's like as intro. Like intro, class intro, person, and I like person intro, or like user intro. All right, and then welcome message by. Oh my goodness, by coach. All right, see, just reverse, 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 reverse. We did a reverse. All right. Oh, what happened? Let's see what happened. So let me see. Concat, my name is an F name. So user Genie intro. All right. Let's run it. Let's see what's going on. F name. Ah, what happened? Oh my goodness. We need to separate that. All right. What happened? Okay. All right. Yeah, so we have something like, my name is Rudy. Oh, welcome, Rudy. My name is Steve. Welcome, Steve. My name is Sarah. Welcome, Sarah E. My name is Reed. Like that. See, that is the power of literals. We're basically using literals to do this. You know, like I said, there's a lot you can do with the table you created. There's a lot you can do with the table you created. Okay. So these were questions. These were questions answered by most people that has been coming to practice. Good job. So let's take the other one. Let's take the other very simple question. Very simple one. So I want you guys to another simple. I want you guys to return the first name age of users greater than 25 from your table. So you will notice that 25 is a numeric literal. All right. So return. Yes, that's a very simple query. I should begin to see results in a few seconds. All right. Okay. So let's go and take this. Let's take this. As well, so have two to play with. Okay, we've done that before. Let's do that. I want you guys to use numeric literals. You have two queries to return to me in chat. All right.
So basically, if we run this, we just have 100 and a 20% discount was given and the price will be 80. All right. So let's take another very quick challenge. I want to get you guys to start thinking out loud and getting stuff done, right? Let's write a query that selects a literal value based on a condition. All right. All right. A literal value based on a condition. So the query selects a literal value based on a condition. All right. Is this right? Let's see. Chini, okay. Nicole, yeah, we got it. Yes, yeah, Nicole, but that age part was pointing to a table. All right, Nicole, I'll send you to a parking lot. Okay, but the person is not around today. But no worries, I got you. Okay, so we need to write a query that selects a literal value based on a condition. All right, say for example, when the age is greater than 18, then we say the person is an adult. Else, the person is a minor, right? And we see it happen on the table we're going to play with, right? We're going to be using a case statement to do that, okay? So watch me closely because you might refactor the code to do a more complex stuff, right? So let me do the first one. Select fname. So let's do case when age. Because you see how I'm using the greater than, okay? You see, greater than operators.
Yes.
Yeah, operators. Okay, greater and equal to 18, right? Greater and equal to 18. This is a different question. I think this one is, okay, no, okay, this one is select fname, requirement is fname, age, users Chini, because it has got fname, where age, see, age is greater than 25. And that's it. See that? You were getting the pseudocode, but you didn't finish it off.
Yeah, got it now.
Okay. All right. Good stuff.
Thank you.
No worries. No worries. No worries. Once you follow it's plain English. So yeah, so we're back to a query that selects a literal value based on a condition, all right? So we're selecting the first name, then case when age greater than or equal to 18, then look at the literal adult. That's the literal adult. Say it's adult. Else, the person is a minor. Anyone less than 18 is a minor. Minor, right? Then we're going to the name of the column and as age category. You can do anything with your table. Okay, we're grabbing it from users chilling. All right, I'll close it. Take a look at the condition here. When age greater than or equal to 18, you see, this is the condition. This is the condition. If it's greater than 18, adult, and then minor. So let's take a look at what's happening. Let's take the age as well. Let's bring the age into this context. Age, so you can see what's going on. All right, let's run and let's have some fun. Chini's table, Chini has decided to bring minors into her table. Chini, why?
I ran out of numbers.
You ran out of numbers.
I didn't want to make them too old, but they
Yeah.
are too old.
Yes. I like to see tables with some level of complexities. Like I said, there's a lot you can do with your table. Or we can answer a lot of questions. So now what this is saying is you would appreciate this query when you see what's happening. You see, we wrote a query where anybody greater than 18 is regarded as an adult. Anybody else, this means that anybody that is less than 18 is a minor else. Okay, it's English, right? If you go down, you see minors, there's still some 15. Anybody less than, see, this is good. This is a perfect example. Less than 18. But if you're greater than and equal to, you can see adult. All right? That's a very sweet example. All right. All right. Any questions? So today we learned about about string, numeric, and Boolean literals. And we basically applied these concepts into practical queries using your own table. Yes. So remember this is a string literal. This is a numeric literal. This is a string literal and all that. And we pass it into queries. We embed them into SQL queries to generate results. And we make sense out of this result as well. All right. So the floor is open to questions. Any question before we round up?
I have one question.
Okay.
So when I did when 18 is equal greater than and equal, I put it in parentheses and it gave me an error. Do you know why?
Yes.
Okay.
Why? Because integers, once we put a quote, once you put them in a quote, that means you're passing that number as a string.
Okay.
Yes. So this is an integer. We talked about this is numeric. They don't take string. They don't take quotes.
Okay.
The moment you make them quotes, you make them a string.
Okay.
Okay. And remember that the age, this table, if we do describe Chini, remember that your table is passed as age is passed as int.
Okay.
Okay. Remember yesterday?
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. Yeah.
So if you see what's going on with that, age is int, so you cannot pass it as a string. It's an integer.
Okay.
Okay? You don't pass integers as string literals. They don't go with quotes. Okay? Numbers don't go with quotes. Okay? Take note, everybody. Numbers don't go with quotes. That's a very good question.
Thank
All
you.
right?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.